Hello, everybody. Welcome to the From the Sidelines podcast. My name is Noah Tyree, and I'm here with Chad Davis,
Hey, what's up?
Devin Davis,
Welcome to the show.
and Josh Duvall.
How's it going? How's it going?
And today we're going to talk about some sports. Feel free to follow us on our Instagram and Twitter at the FTS Pod and send in questions that you'd like for us to answer at theftspod@gmail.com. And let's get right into it.
All right, to break down the show as our first episode, we are four sports fanatics from the state of Kentucky. And of course, as you can tell, we're avid Kentucky basketball fans. We will be bringing you our takes on sports and everything in between, from basketball, football, and baseball.
All right. Even though March is coming to an end, March Madness is starting to get hot. We're coming into the Final Four, but we're going to talk about the Elite Eight today, with one game in particular starting out, Virginia and Purdue. What do you guys think about that? How about Carson Edwards, 42 points?
I think you mean instead of Purdue, Virginia outlasts Carson Edwards more like 42 points in that game. No help from any of his teammates hardly.
Yeah, nobody else even scored in double figures. I think the next highest scorer was Ryan Klein, and he had 7 points.
And he went off the game before. But
Matt Harms is the most underperforming big man I've seen in a very long time. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, for a 7-3, you have to. It's hard to be coordinated at 7-3, but I just seen him choke so many times at the rim. You just gotta be better than that.
Yeah.
He's too thin. If you put a body on him, there's no way he can post you up.
Yeah, he has no strength. He literally can't get past 5 feet. And if you do, he somehow gets blocked. It's disgusting. I don't understand.
So towards the end of the game, Virginia is up 3. And I know some people do not like to do this, but they fouled so they could not get the 3-point shot off. What do y'all think about that call? Do you agree?
Technical.
Yep, that's what I think. I think it should be a technical. Because that's just, I don't know. That's a lousy play. If you're up by 3 and you foul them so you could win the game, that should be a technical. You should get a free throw and the ball back so you have a chance to go for 2 after that or 3 and win the game. You know?
Man, I really don't.
I mean, it's a strategic move, but I don't think it should be allowed.
But what happens if it plays out like it did Saturday night?
But what if it doesn't?
I mean, it's not a guarantee, though. They can still
the chances are lower that you score 3 points off of a made free throw and then miss it and get the rebound than actually taking a 3-point shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should we punish a team by awarding a technical foul, though, due to the strategic play?
There's got to be something. I don't know if they should get a free throw after it, but I don't know if it should be a technical, but maybe, I don't know, maybe call a foul on them.
So why for teams down to intentionally foul?
They should be allowed to inbound the ball and get off a shot rather than getting fouled, I think.
Okay.
This is Virginia's first Final Four since 1984, back in the Ralph Sampson days. I
can't say I know what that is, but go ahead.
Oh, damn, man. That's a real shame.
It's not a lie.
Bro, Jim Valvano, back in the Survivor Advance days.
Back in my day, I used to be a big old Ralph Sampson fan.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, I was just about to ask, like, if you all really think, like, this time they'd be able to pull it off, because back then they didn't. They got upset by eventual Houston. So I was just wondering if you think they'd actually come off as the number 1 seed to beat this tourney.
I would think they would at least beat Auburn. I mean, Kentucky didn't.
It's Auburn.
Yeah.
They're a middle tier SEC team.
Unless they play like Kentucky, I don't think they'll have any issues.
They can either squeak by New Mexico State, almost lose that game, blow it at the end, or just completely demolish 3 of the top blue blood schools in the NCAA.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like if they can do that, they may have a chance here. They really may.
And like
That'd be very ironic, beating Kansas, UNC, and Kentucky, and then faltering to Virginia after they just lost to UMBC last year.
yeah.
That's a very Bruce Pearl thing to do.
Right
Yep.
after he sweats the pursuit.
I don't see how they can get past Virginia. I mean,
Well,
Kentucky played
they're
awful,
gonna-
and they barely beat them.
Well, Auburn's gonna face the best defense they've faced all year, and Virginia's gonna be better at guarding the perimeter. So they're gonna have to try to get you ball screens and get open looks from three or working inside.
Yeah, when you
Have
think about the pack
Kyle
line.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think, the difference between Virginia and Kentucky, Ashton Hagans, he had 9 turnovers and he can't shoot. His offensive ability is nothing compared to his defensive ability. But at least, Kyle Guy, he put up 25 against Purdue. I think
yeah.
And they have lots of shooting on that team.
Kyle Guy reminds me of like a more advanced Kyle Korver a little bit. I don't know why, but
And Auburn,
it's just the way like he can shoot, but now like it's like a Kyle Korver that can drive, Like I don't understand it, but
He's quicker and more athletic and more agile.
That's exactly like it's what Kyle Korver should have been.
and Auburn's guards completely outplayed the Kentucky guards. I think
Exactly.
Bryce Brown and Jared Harper combined for about 50 of their 77 total points.
Oh, exactly. And if you can just shut down those two, you have a chance at the game. That's it.
Well, we'll see on Saturday. What do you guys think about? What do you think about Duke losing?
I could not have been happier in my lifetime.
All
This-
right.
This super team of the Duke Blue Devils with Zion Williamson, the superstar, the next LeBron James, lost. Couldn't even make the Final Four to Michigan State and Tom Izzo. It makes me happy. I'm sorry, Duke fans. I really am. But yeah, eat it.
Hey, that's what you get. That's what you get.
Well,
Who's
now
the
past
Cassius
the
Winston?
bias part of the podcast.
It was completely unbiased. I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh,
Um,
no bias whatsoever.
we just acknowledge. We just
I think
acknowledge
unless
Joe.
you're a Duke fan, you want Duke to lose.
I feel like
It's
most
just
of America,
Americanly
most of
accepting.
America would agree with me. Am I right?
Yeah, signed America. Sincerely America.
With us being Kentucky fans, I think most America would want Kentucky to
Yeah.
lose also. So
Yeah, it's the 11th Amendment. Thou shalt hate Duke. So
That's big facts. There you
that's not the 11th Amendment, but all right.
go.
They should have lost to UCF, Taco Fall. Tacos are good. UCF should have won that game.
I can eat tacos all the time. I love them.
Yeah. Missed the
And when they're 7-3, they're delicious, and they
Tip at
just
the
make
end.
everything great.
they missed the tip in at the end. UCF did, and then the same
Upset.
exact
The
thing in
same
the
thing
Virginia
happened.
Tech game. The same thing. They missed the inbounds pass up to the basket, and they missed it.
Yeah.
And then finally, their luck. They ran out of luck, and Michigan State came out with 3.
Speaking of game-changing plays, I think you all know which one I'm about to bring up from the Texas Tech game.
Try me.
The Texas Tech game near the end, where the big guy's going towards the corner. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now.
Jarrett Culver,
I think so. It may have been.
Big 12 Player of the Year.
No. It was towards the end of the game. It was the block that he
Oh.
saved. that
Oh,
should've
he
been out of
swat.
bounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you think of that?
Clutch.
I mean, it was a
Whenever-
block.
Well,
and
no,
just
like
Shaq-
because I don't like it that it should have been called out of bounds. I feel like since he had swatted already out of the air, it should have been fair game. But everybody's calling it out of bounds. I just want your opinion on it.
It was Tariq Owens, correct? I believe that was the player. Hey, if the ref didn't call it, the ref didn't call it.
I mean, it was a crazy athletic play. He was out of bounds when he jumped up to save the ball in bounds. But I mean, refs miss calls.
Yeah.
We've seen
he
plenty
was-
of that over the years. so.
he was clearly out of bounds. The rest just missed it. You can't stand out of bounds and then jump and throw the ball back in if you're already out of bounds. That's out of bounds.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't reach across the end line and get a technical foul while they're inbounding the ball.
Oh,
That's
God.
agreeable.
Just an
Yeah,
idea.
that's agreeable.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Can't say I've seen that one before, but that was a good one.
All right. What are y'all's Final Four predictions?
Do I want to go Texas Tech or
Ride the Jarrett Culver train. Ride the Jarrett Culver train.
yeah. I'm gonna go Texas Tech and
This is good radio. Good radio.
Good radio.
I know it's great radio. I'm not confident in my choices. Can I use a lifeline here?
Yeah, I'll step in here. I think Virginia most definitely takes care of Auburn.
Yeah.
When you look at the pack line, they most definitely won't be able to get the open driving lanes they had against the likes of Ashton Hagans and Tyler Hero. When you think about how they compact the paint, it could be a great opportunity for Auburn to get some open threes. But if they struggle from shooting outside, with the exception of Bryce Brown, like they did today against Kentucky, Malik Dunbar has to show up. I definitely think that he'll be an important factor in this game, kind of providing some relief from Jared Harper and Bryce Brown, kind of open up the offense. But if they're unable to crack that code, then I think Virginia should be able to keep it low scoring and move to the championship game.
Auburn's 3-point shooting this entire tournament has been insane.
Yep.
Now it's up.
Yeah.
It's just whether you think they can keep it up or not against a good defensive Virginia team or not. So if they can shoot the lights out like they've done all tournament, obviously they can beat anybody. But I don't think they will, and I think Virginia handles them pretty easily.
Yeah, they're on a bigger stage versus a 1 seed. I don't see them doing it.
Yeah,
So let's go on the record here. Who we got to win the title? Josh, we'll start with you.
I want Texas Tech. I'm gonna go Michigan State.
Michigan State. Noah, how about you?
That's the exact same answer I have.
Chad?
I got Virginia. Y'all can take Michigan State. I'm taking Virginia.
I'm gonna roll with Virginia. Lose to a 16 seed, followed up with the title.
Here, this is how I
What a
want it
story.
to play out.
That's a good story.
Texas Tech and Virginia, and Texas Tech comes out on top, but I know that's probably not how it's going to happen. So in case of a backup, I do want Michigan State, and I know that's going to happen. So.
All right. Well, now that we've wrapped up a terrific weekend of basketball, in another world of sports, we had just another exciting event, opening weekend for the MLB baseball season.
Anybody else stay up to 5? Because I didn't.
Oh, yeah. That was really great. Waking up at 5 a.m. to watch some Mariners and A's baseball. We love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ichiro Suzuki's retiring. I would say the biggest takeaway from the weekend has to be Christian Yelich continuing his MVP form, hitting 4 dingers in 4 days.
Indeed, man. He's 6 through 12 with 4 homers and 8 RBIs through 4 games. That's a great start, don't you all think? That's a little crazy. And he's literally picking up where he left off.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great start. And last year, he's just picking up where he left off, man. He batted .326 with 36 home runs, 110 RBIs, 22 stolen bases, with just 135 strikeouts and with 147 games played.
And
go ahead.
Sorry.
No. Oh well, I'm just saying this guy screams efficiency. I've never heard it so deafening. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say now that he's on a decent team with the Brewers instead of the Marlins, he actually has help around him, and that's improved his play.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. The Brewers are a lot better.
Helps as well. The ballpark, man, going from
Miller
Miami
Park.
to Milwaukee, that's incredibly upgrade for him at least.
Not to mention the fact that he did it against solid pitching and Miles Michaelis and Jack Flaherty.
Indeed.
All right. As we turn our attention to the American League, what stands out to you guys in the AL?
Well, first of all,
Blue
we have to
Jays.
start. No,
Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays, awesome. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, I just want to say that the Orioles went from 47 and 115 to starting the year off right. I think that's pretty commendable. And the Rays are trying to show everybody that where they were last 90 and 72 last year, a little bit behind for a playoff spot. I think they're trying to show that they can get there, but I don't know exactly.
And how about the Orioles? Have the
Indeed.
chance to be the worst, absolutely the worst team in the MLB this year, winning the opening series against the
Yeah.
Yankees.
That's insane.
You know,
Because how,
that's
how
what
good the
promised.
Yankees are, I did not see that coming at all.
Exactly.
When you look at the AL East standings, you see the Yankees 1-2 in fourth place, Red Sox 1-3 in fifth place. Which team are we more concerned about, the Yankees or the Red Sox moving forward?
I'm gonna go.
thinking Yankees.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Yankees on that.
I'm going to disagree with you all. I'm going to go Red Sox.
Oh,
Here's
this is
why.
coming from the Red Sox fan.
As a Red Sox fan, I will tell you why. Starting pitching and our bullpen. Now, usually our starting pitching has been really good, but so far to start out the season, it's not been good, like at all. Chris Sale got roughed up.
I was
Evaldi
about to
got
say
roughed up.
his shoulder's messed up. That's what concerns me.
He didn't pitch in spring training. You got to think. Him and Blake Snell didn't pitch in spring training, got roughed up.
Yeah,
Yep.
but he's still one of the best pitchers in the league. You can't give up a 21 ERA through 3 innings. That's just not acceptable.
Yeah,
And then
no.
His velocity was down.
And then poor Rick Porcello. Like, I don't even want to get started. First start this year, 2 1/3, 9 runs. He won the Cy Young in 2016. And he's just not the same player as he used to be.
He really lost control today.
Absolutely.
Well,
All right, let's go back to the NL. What do you think about the NL West? Dodgers have taken-
I was about to say, if you're gonna say NL West, you might as well say Dodgers. So, 42 runs through 4 games, averaging 10 points, I guess, if you want to count. I exclude the .25 they're giving them.
10 runs a game.
Averaging over
Yeah.
10 runs per game so far to open up the season. That's
Exactly.
pretty darn good.
That I've never heard of that. I don't know if you all can tell me an instance. I've never heard of that. With Jock Peterson hitting the ball, he is with 3 home runs. Somebody else hitting it with 4. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger, yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, Cody.
Coming back off injury from last year, yeah.
that splendid, absolutely splendid.
They just have such a prolific offense. It's hard to see them losing very many games with how the bats are going.
Yeah, when you think about the fact that they added A.J. Pollock in the outfield, it's really impressive what they're able to do.
Just makes them that much better. And they're already good before they had him.
And it's not like their pitching is lacking either.
Oh, they
Hyun-Jin
have a
Ryu
great
threw
starting rotation.
Hyun-Jin Ryu threw a gem to open the season. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts.
And Clayton Kershaw's out, so when he gets back, they'll be even bright. They'll be even better.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, speaking of pitching, free agency for Dallas Keuchel. I hope I pronounced that right. And Craig Kimbrell. I'm terrible with names, as you can see.
Actually, hate to break it to you, Dallas Keuchel.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Noah. I thought it was Kushel.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad somebody agrees. Anyway, where do you all think they're going?
Kimbrell better go to the Braves. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
If he doesn't go to the Braves, I think he's crazy.
Ooh,
I think
Josh
he's
calling
insane.
Kim return to the Braves.
Whatever was going to Cincinnati.
He has to go to the Braves.
Yeah. Well, as Keuchel, or however you said it, I can't pronounce that at all, if that's how it is. They said Cincinnati Reds was a potential spot, along with Boston. What do you think of that, Chad?
I'm sorry, I did not even listen to a word you said.
I was saying Dallas Keuchel, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Saying that the Cincinnati Reds was a potential landing spot, and also the Boston Red Sox. What did you think of that? Do you think that would help your pitching troubles?
Well, absolutely. I think Dallas Keuchel is a great starting pitcher. I don't know how he's not found a team yet, but I know the Reds. The Reds have been making free agency moves, stacking up their batting order. The Yankees, I know he was also looking at. But no, the Red Sox, if they can get Dallas Keuchel, in addition to Sale, David Price, Evaldi, Rodriguez, Porcello, that definitely would beef it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
And when you think about Dallas Keuchel, his profile has him as a ground ball pitcher. He definitely fits into a smaller ballpark like Great American Ballpark or Fenway, where he keeps the ball on the ground, prevents home runs. One thing he was really able to do in Houston throughout his career. So I definitely think that would translate well into those specific parks.
Yep, I completely agree. That was my point exactly.
What are your thoughts on the Brewers being linked to Craig Kimbrell with the fact that Jeremy Jeffress is on the IL and they recently just have Josh Hader in the bullpen with the fact that Corey Knebel is out with Tommy John this year?
Well,
I think Kimbrell will fit in with the Brewers pretty well.
Well, it could definitely beef up their bullpen in addition to their starting rotation. Because he's one of the best closers in the league, and as a Red Sox fan, I hate to see him go.
All right. After an interesting 4 days of baseball, I'm intrigued to see how the rest of the season plays out. All right, so we'll now be moving into a recurring segment that we will perform on each episode. This is one segment where we will highlight a standout performance, a breakout performance, anything that really caught our eye this week in the world of sports. Noah, do you want to get started?
Like I said earlier, Christian Yelich, that man is on a tear lately. I may not watch that much baseball, but I know good stats when I see him. His stats are impeccable right now. He's batting .500 through 4 games. If he keeps a streak up like this, it could be unsurmountable. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, it's hard for him to maintain, obviously, a .5 batting average.
Well, yeah, of course.
He'll come down to earth a little bit, but I don't see any reason why he couldn't.
Yeah, but at this rate, he may not drop down below 320, 330. If he's really good, he can stay above 335. But I don't see it dropping that much, man. I just don't. I feel like he's on some sort of tear. I really do.
Do you like his chances to repeat as the National League MVP?
If he keeps his rate up, absolutely. I see absolutely. They're saying, and I can honestly agree with it, his power may still yet have a roof. Like, there's maybe a chance that he can go over the 36 home runs that he hit last year. I really believe so. I feel like if he goes at this pace, he could easily get 42, 43. Easily.
So you're expecting an uptick in home runs and an uptick in batting average?
Maybe not an uptick in batting average. That may go down. I'm sure the National League pitchers will catch up to him a little bit on his consistency, but I feel like the home runs will definitely have a chance of going.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder who Noah's favorite player is.
Well, no. Well, yeah. I guess it's kind of a fair case, but this is the first podcast.
All right, who wants to go next?
All right, I'll jump in here, keeping on the baseball theme. The one team that really caught my eye this week had to be the Philadelphia Phillies. When you think about the offseason moves they made, acquiring JT Realmuto, Gene Segura, signing Andrew McCutchen, it's definitely, and not to forget, of course, Bryce Harper, the man on a mission. But when you look at what they added this offseason, they definitely had high, lofty expectations coming into the year. And I would say they definitely passed the eye test when you're looking at those expectations. A 3-0 sweep against the Atlanta Braves. When you look at their starting pitching, Aaron Nola picking up last season's form with another quality start, 6 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, 8 Ks. And Jake Arrieta keeping his form from 2 years ago with the Cubs, another quality start with 6 innings, 1 earned run, and 6 Ks. I definitely think their rotation is something to be threatened with, especially if Nick Pivetta makes a jump that everyone's expecting. When you look at his FIP versus ERA last year, it was definitely an abnormality.
Yep. Talking
ERA,
is hard.
I know. ERA of 4.77 with only a FIP and a run lower, 3.8. And the strikeout rate is insane, 5th among qualifying pitchers with 10.3 Ks per 9. So I definitely think Nick Pivetta is a sleeper that people need to be focusing on and could potentially put the Phillies into the World Series.
Yeah,
And
I like Jake Arrieta as well. He's a game changer. And what
how
he did with the
about
Cubs.
how about the Phillies
amazing.
beefing up their lineup in addition to keeping Hernandez, Franco, and Reese Hoskins?
Oh, Reese
Mhm.
Hoskins, third-year breakout, grand slam opening day, nothing like it.
He's crazy. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, my performance of the week, we're going back to March Madness. I'm going with Michigan State and Cassius Winston. So Michigan State won the Big Ten. They sweep Michigan 3-0, and some people thought they got screwed over by getting put in Duke's region after winning the Big Ten tournament, being that they were the highest 2 seed. But they did overcome it. They did start off slow against Bradley in the first round, but then rolled through the rest of the region and even like handily beating LSU. Wasn't even close the entire game. And then ultimately knocking Duke out in the Elite Eight. And I really like their defense in that Duke game. I mean, obviously Zion and RJ Barrett will get their points, but I thought they did a good job of forcing turnovers which led to easy buckets in transition. And then Cassius Winston, he's just been phenomenal. He makes his teammates better. Big Ten Player of the Year for a reason. And then that Duke game, he had a double-double, 20 points, 10 assists, and played excellent defense. Locked down Trey Jones, held him to just 4 points. So I think he's just been on a tear this tournament, and he'll probably keep it going against Texas Tech.
Cassius Winston only had 1 turnover as well.
And I forgot to mention Mr. March, Tom Izzo, coach of the Michigan State Spartans.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Tom Izzo.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way he coaches.
You know, he almost came to Kentucky, though, before they got Cal. Well, why don't you like?
I don't know. I'm glad we got Cal. I like him a lot better than Tom Izzo.
Why don't you like the way Tom Izzo coaches, though?
I don't know. He's kind of, all like, blah, 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 I'm Tom Izzo. He's always getting in people's faces, yelling at his players. I don't know. I think it's just a bad way of coaching and just,
Like exactly like that. Is that why
exactly
he got
like that? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. You see his face.
Uh-huh.
So you saw that clip.
When I see his face, I just see blah, 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 blah.
So you saw that clip of him getting in Kenny Goins' face in the Bradley game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and that's why I don't like about him.
And what do you say exactly to the people that agree with that way of coaching? Exactly, like.
I mean, there's one thing if you're trying to fire your players up, but I just feel like he gets on to them too much, and it kind of. What was that, Chad?
No, you can finish. I just have a strong opinion on this.
I feel like he just gets on to them a little too much, and I feel like it can decrease their confidence at times. It's one thing to fire them up, but decreasing their confidence isn't a good thing.
Okay, here's the way I look at it. It all depends on the coach's choice of words, and they can yell, they can get in their face, fire them up, but to me, I think it's just making them, just trying to help them be better, and if they don't want to be yelled at, then do what the coach wants you to do and play better. I just think unless they're making personal attacks or anything, I think it's completely fine that they do that.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, give us your last performance of the week. I have a feeling I know where he's going to go with this one.
Good old Carson Edwards.
Yeah, that's his boy.
The boy from Purdue. Well, he got 42 points. That's one way of saying it. He was only 1 3-pointer shy of the NCAA tournament record in a game. Or just a NCAA record. And he hit 6 of his threes in the last 14 minutes of the game. And somehow they still managed to lose. I mean, what more can you ask from a player? That's Devin Booker putting up 70 and losing to Boston right there, but in college.
And how about the range of his shots, too?
Oh, yeah, he was creating his own shot.
He was pulling it 4 feet back from the three-point line. Like, he was just pulling it.
Did it at all seem careless to you at the shots he was taking? Because there was one shot he took that straight was a bank shot from deep on the
Oh,
wing.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To me, those are just completely luck.
He was taking risky shots, but when you're on fire, you're on fire,
Yeah.
He also passed Curry in points, so.
That's pretty prolific, and that's all right.
Will he be like Curry? I don't know, but what do y'all think? Do you think he's gonna get?
I don't see him having the range and consistency of Curry, but I feel like he could have a
How do you think the draft is going to go with Carson Edwards?
I feel like the draft as a whole
prospect,
is a whole conversation.
I
think he's worked his way into like late first round, maybe. I think he's worked his way up.
I mean, I think you could take a flyer on him. The guy can ball.
Yeah, he's averaging 24 points a game. Granted, he's only averaging about 3 assists. That's one thing I'm worried about is his playmaking. You know, one thing about Curry is he's got the shot, but he's also got playmaking.
Well, when you're making the shots at the rate he's making, I mean, you kind of don't want him to pass.
On an NBA defense, though?
Well, yeah. Well, no, in the NBA, yeah. But at the rate he was going, I feel like he can keep that up.
Yeah, when you think about all the times he had the ball in his hand, he only ended up with 4 turnovers. So he definitely has a good ball security, and he was trying to put the team on his back.
Yep.
I do want to make one last comment, and I'm sorry, Duke people, but it's about Duke. How about Coach K and him with this generational talent, 3 of the top 5 picks in the upcoming draft, and then they came and make the Final Four. But everyone like hates on Cal and hates on Roy Williams and Bill Self and Tom Izzo whenever they underachieve. But no, when Coach K does it, no one bats an eye.
You can have all good individual players you want, but if they can't play like a team, they're not doing anything.
You're exactly right.
Give them a better team with better ball movement and better what's the word I'm looking for? Better chemistry. Then I'd take that any day over a Zion Williamson, RJ Barrett that can't play together.
Exactly.
And if you saw the Michigan State game, Duke had 2 or 3 fouls just in the second half with like 2 minutes to go, and I just love that it's the ultimate karma that the reason they lost is because they didn't have enough fouls to send Michigan State to the free throw line.
Yep. They get to dribble out the clock.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, gentlemen.
All right, guys.
All right, well, that concludes our segment of performances of the week. Make sure to follow us on our Instagram and Twitter. Again, the handle is @the FTS Pod. And if you have any questions or comments or any ways to improve the show, we'd love to hear your feedback. Our email address is theftspod@gmail.com. So we'd like to see our inbox full. And we have our DMs open on our social media as well. So hit that follow button. Leave any questions or comments you may have. And you'll hear from us again next week.
Bye, have a great time.
Bye, have a great time.